Once upon a time, in a beautiful land by the sea, Jesus and his disciples were traveling and teaching many people. They were doing good things and spreading love wherever they went. One evening, Jesus told his disciples to get into a big wooden boat and go across the lake while he stayed back to pray alone on a mountainside. The disciples listened to him and paddled away. Jesus watched them from afar, surrounded by the twinkling stars and the sound of gentle waves. As the night grew darker, a strong wind began to blow across the lake. The waves became big and scary, tossing the boat from side to side. The disciples held on tight, their hearts beating fast with fear. "Oh no! What are we going to do? These waves are too strong!" they cried out to each other. Meanwhile, Jesus finished his prayers and looked down at the troubled lake. Jesus loved his friends very much and didn't want them to be afraid, so he decided to help them in a special way. Under the moonlit sky, Jesus started walking towards the boat. But here's the amazing part. There was no boat under Jesus' feet. He was walking on top of the water as if it were a solid path. Step by step, he went closer and closer to where his friends were. When the disciples saw someone walking towards them, they didn't recognize Jesus at first. They were even more frightened because they thought it was a ghost. "Look! Who is that?" they shouted, gripping the sides of their boat. "It must be a ghost!" They were truly amazed and scared. But Jesus called out to them, "Don't be afraid. It is I, Jesus." Hearing his voice, Peter, one of Jesus' friends, felt brave. "Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come to you on the water," Peter asked. Jesus smiled warmly and answered, "Come." With his heart full of trust, Peter stepped out of the boat. He was walking on water just like Jesus. But suddenly, when Peter noticed the strong wind around him, he got scared. He began to sink into the water. "Lord, save me!" he cried out. Immediately, Jesus reached out his hand and caught Peter. "Why did you doubt, Peter?" Jesus asked gently. They both climbed safely into the boat, and the wind stopped blowing. The lake became calm once again, glistening under the stars. The disciples were amazed. They bowed to Jesus in the boat and said, "Truly, you are the Son of God." And with hearts full of awe and respect, they continued their journey with the sun rising slowly in the horizon, bringing peace and reminding them of Jesus' love and power. This story teaches us that Jesus is always with us, even in the middle of a storm, and all we need to do is trust him. You can read this story in the Bible, in the book of Matthew, chapter 14, verses 22 to 33. Remember, no storm is too fierce when Jesus is by our side.